Now, Hare Krishna everyone. Welcome to you on the today's Sunday program. The novels begin 11 Malmö, and our schedule is like first we will have the bhajan for 30 minutes, and we will have today the Madhava Prabhuji, and he will give the lecture for 1 hour, and after that we will have the Gaura Aarti and Puja and Prasadam. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namah Vishnupadaya Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavade Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Divasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Let's make a little experiment. Krishna is non-different from his name. So when you say Krishna, he is present. So imagine you visualize Krishna is standing there in front of you, and you give him your full attention. And you say his name, and he's there. Meditate on this, and then sing of your joy. Okay? We do again. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hare Bol. Nitai Gaura, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hare Bol. Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jayo Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jayo Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande. Thank you very much. You're good singers, good listeners. We should chant the Radha Madhava also, yeah? Okay. Jayo Radha Madhava, Jayo Kunya Bihari. Jayo Radha Madhava, Jayo Kunya Bihari. Gopi Janna Vallabha, Jayo Girivaradari, Jayo Girivaradari. Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jayo Girivaradari, Jayo Girivaradari. Jayo Yashodanandana, Jayo Braja Janarajana. Jayo Yashodanandana, Jayo Braja Janarajana. Yamuna Tiravanachari, Jayo Kunya Bihari. Jayo Yamuna Tiravanachari, Jayo Kunya Bihari. Jayo Yamuna Tiravanachari, Jayo Kunya Bihari. Jayo Radha Madhava, Jayo Kunya Bihari. Jayo Kunya Bihari, Jayo Gopi Janna Vallabha, Jayo Girivaradari, Jayo Girivaradari. Jayo Yashodanandana, Jayo Braja Janarajana. Kunya Bihari Yamuna Kiya Jayo Kunya Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunya Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunya Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunya Bihari Madhava Jayo Kunya Bihari. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai. Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. So, So I picked a verse today from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 18, conclusion, the perfection of renunciation. Text number 63. So how do you do it? I just chant this and move on. Yep. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So, in this, the world's most famous conversation between Krishna and Arjuna, Krishna is now concluding his teachings, saying to Arjuna the following: Iti te jnanamakyatam guyad guyataram maya vimrishyaita dasheshena yatit chasi tatakuru. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Thus, I have explained to you knowledge still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully, and then do what you wish to do. Purport. The Lord has already explained to Arjuna the knowledge of Brahma Bhuta. One who is in the Brahma Bhuta condition is joyful. He never laments, nor does he desire anything. That is due to confidential knowledge. Krishna also discloses knowledge of the Supersoul. This is also Brahman knowledge of Brahman, but it is superior. Here the words Yatchet Chasi Tata Kuru, as you like, you may act, indicate that God does not interfere with the little independence of the living entity. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord has explained in all respects how one can elevate his living conditions. Yeah. Krishna didn't really explain how to elevate your consciousness to a level of a pure devotee, but how you can elevate your living condition to get a more comfortable life in this world. I'll get back to that later. It's worth noting. The best advice imparted to Arjuna is to surrender unto the Supersoul seated within his heart. By right discrimination, one should agree to act according to the order of the Supersoul. That will help one become situated constantly in Krishna consciousness, the highest perfectional stage of human life. Arjuna is being directly ordered by the personality of Godhead to fight. Surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is in the best interest of the living entities. It is not for the interest of the Supreme. Before surrendering, one is free to deliberate on the subject as far as the intelligence goes. That is the best way to accept the instruction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such instruction comes also through the spiritual master, the bona fide representative of Krishna. Iti te jnanam akyatam guyad guyataram maya vimrishaitad asheshana yatechasi tatakuru. Thus, I have explained to you knowledge still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully, and then do what you wish to do. Om Ajnati Mirandasya Gyanangara Shalakya Shaksharum Militam Yana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukham Karoti Vatshalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatam Mahammande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pashtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivanta Swaminite Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesh Shunyavade Paschachade Shatarine. The Bhagavad Gita, as you know, is part of the Mahabharata, the largest historic epic in the world, with around 130,000 verses, and depicting the history of Bharatvarsha, the great India in the old times. And Bhagavad Gita is simply one chapter, but it is the core, the very essence of the Mahabharata. And as we see here, it is divided in 18 different chapters. The first chapter, for a beginner in spiritual life, may look a little bit troublesome because it's just a lot of very complicated names, and what's the name of the bow, and what is the conch shell, and what is the person. And so many times we just skip the first chapter because the real juice, we think, comes in the second chapter, because that's where Krishna tells Arjuna, you're not this body, you're eternal, you will never die. Nobody can kill you, nobody can burn you, crush you. And this is actually the key to start understanding spiritual life. If you don't at least theoretically understand that you're not this body, that you're spirit, then spiritual knowledge makes very little sense. So Prabhupada explains also in his introduction that at least theoretically we have to accept that the speaker of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, is the almighty, all-knowing, all-benevolent Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because if we don't think Krishna is an ordinary person, then the Bhagavad Gita makes very little sense. So these two things are very important. Understanding your spirit soul, and Krishna is the supreme spirit soul. You know? But as a matter of fact, the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is totally interesting because Krishna is orchestrating a scenario. Like many of us, we experience problems in life, sometimes really, really hard problems. Probably not as hard as Arjuna, because the situation was that he was supposed to participate in this war, and on both sides he had people that he loved, respected, where he was related to his brothers, his cousins, his teachers, elderly. So he couldn't really see how anything good could come out of this war. So at one point, like, you know, sometimes we end up in a situation, I have no idea what I should do or what I should not do. So Krishna kind of put Arjuna in that situation. So he was prepared to give up his lifelong training, his vocational training as a warrior, and just run away to the forest and not bother doing his duty. Which is really tough because Arjuna, he was a kshatriya, he was a warrior, and he was trained. He was probably, if not the best, one of the best warriors in the world at that time. He could kill practically anybody. He had so powerful weapons given to him by his father, Indra, by Shiv Shambhu, and by many other demigods. He was fully equipped with powerful weapons. But that's exactly what happens when people end up in problems. When you have a nice time, comfortable life, nobody's very interested in going to church, to the mosque, or to the synagogue, or to the temple, because I got it together, But when things start to get heavy, when some close person to us is dying, or there is war, or there is bad weather, really bad, like volcanoes, earthquake, then people come to the church. Please, God, save me, save me. And what it actually means, I want to have a comfortable situation. I don't want to suffer. I want to have some wealth, comfort, beauty, knowledge, fame, etc. So we ask God for these things. So this is also a way to connect. The first chapter, Vishada Yoga, is Krishna and Arjuna. They are connecting on the platform of lamentation. I turn to God, or Arjuna turned to God, because I need something. That's one of the 4 classes of men that actually approach Krishna. It's a Bhajantam. They come to Krishna because they suffer or they want some comforts. And then some come because they're curious or they're actually looking for the absolute truth. Very rare people. Most people, they want to have comfort. So, Krishna starts to explain throughout the Bhagavad Gita how you get a comfortable situation in this world. He explains the process of dharma, different yogas, karma yoga, jnana yoga, siddha yoga, ashtanga yoga. So the Bhagavad Gita is called the introductory book on yoga. And nothing is really bhakti yoga, what we are trying to attain in the Krishna consciousness movement. Krishna sneaks in a little bit here, a little bit there, that yes, but think of me and offer to me and like that. But otherwise, he's describing. And he also warns Arjuna, people get very confused by the flowery language of the Vedas, because the Vedas is mostly about how you attain a comfortable situation in this world. That means, how should I act to get good karma? So the process, this is called Purushartha. Purush means mankind, Artha means wealth, comfortable situation. So you act according to religious principles. Dharma, you act according to your duty. Artha, you get rewarded, because if you act according to your dharma, it's explained that you do not incur sinful reactions. You incur pious reactions. Yeah? So you be a nice person, you act according to religious principles, and then you get wealth and a comfortable situation, which make you indulge in calm. You enjoy. Yeah? You enjoy in a civilized way. And after doing that for some time, you feel, okay, enough is enough, then now I want to be liberated. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. This is for the population in general. And unfortunately, very few people in this modern society are even following the Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha process given by Krishna. Most people are godless. They don't care about religious principles. Religious principles means rules and regulation that bring you in connection with God, with Krishna. That brings you closer to Krishna. So the whole Vedas are full with those instructions, what kind of sacrifices, what to give away in charity, yajna, samskaras, all these things. So you can live a civilized life as a civilized human being, following religious principles. And we have so many dharmas. These dharmas are called by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he calls them Naimitika dharma, that means temporary dharma, because they are only concerned the particular body you have in this lifetime. So you may follow Brahmana dharma, Kshatriya dharma, Vaishya dharma, Shudra dharma, or you may be even outside of the system, being, like a dog eater or lower, the godless. But this is just this body. This body I may have to follow Vaishya dharma. Next life I may have to follow Stri dharma. That's the duty of being a woman, of being a chaste woman in a family, how to take care of things properly. So this is just pertaining to the body. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he speaks about the other Dharma, the Nitya Dharma. That means the eternal Dharma or the Sanatan Dharma. That has nothing to do with the body. That has to do with the soul, with you. And that's the kind of Dharma when Krishna says to Arjuna in the 2nd chapter, in this endeavor, you don't lose anything. There is no reduction. Whatever Dharma you do has to do with the body. You get wealth, a name, whatever. It's lost. When the body is dead, it's finished. But with the Nitya Dharma, the Sanatana Dharma, that is never lost. So you may make spiritual progress on the path of Bhakti Yoga 1%. Next life you can start from 2%, Prabhupada experience. So we have to understand there are two different kind of dharmas. The temporary material dharma pertaining to your body. You may be born in a Brahmana family, you may be born in a Shudra family, but be trained to become a Brahmana. You may be born in a Brahmana family and you're not trained and you are still a Shudra because your Varna is not from birth, it's by qualification. Your quality, your guna, and your way of work. So you can very easily determine what is a person's Varna by just looking at his qualities and the way he works, like that. But it's just temporary, just belonging to the body. And what does Krishna says here in a few, 2 verses more? Krishna says, Sarva Dharmam Parichaya. Reject all these dharmas. And what do you do instead? Mam Ekam Sharanam Raja. Just surrender unto me. Take up your Sanatan Dharma, the path of Bhakti Yoga. Because the path of all these other dharmas are leading towards the goal of becoming a loving devotee of Krishna. So why bother? Why not become a loving devotee of Krishna from the start? Prabhupada explains here in the purport that even if you have material contamination, by taking up Bhakti Yoga, you can be considered as a devotee, as pure, because you're endeavoring every day. You become more and more pure, you're more and more endeavoring in Bhakti Yoga. So it's very important to understand there are different dharmas. And Krishna actually wants us to give up all this. I guess all of you have been taking an airplane sometime in your life. So you check in your luggage, you go to the security, you stand in line for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, up to an hour, and then you have to open up your bags and go through the X-ray machine, and you go through another. You remember how it works? Yeah? But then there's something called a fast track. You pay a little extra, and then people say, oh, you're on the fast track. Yeah, come. Shh. 1 minute, and then immediately you're through because you paid extra. So going through the security, this is basically Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. It can take lifetimes. Fast track, that's Bhakti Yoga. You're already engaged in Bhakti, but it costs a little bit more. You have to give up your false ego. You have to understand you're not this body. You have to understand that life is not about my pleasure, my comfortable situation. It's about the comfortable situation and pleasure of Krishna, the supreme object of our love. That's what life's about. But it's really hard to give up. I want something. I want a little this, I want that, little fame, a little money, a little sense gratification and like that. Why do you want that? Because you think you're going to be happy. This is our nature. In the Vedas it says, Ananda Maya Bhyasat. Our true spiritual nature is jubilant, joyful, blissful. But being covered by a material body, which is kind of an embarrassment, we do not experience our true self. And we start looking for happiness and joy in other places. In temporary relationships, husband, wife, family, boyfriend, girlfriend, cousins, this and that. Or in food or drink or traveling, going on vacation, whatever we do. We try, this is called a surrogate. People maybe take to alcohol because they want to feel some liberation from the pains, or drugs. It's all surrogates. It has to do with the body and the polluted mind, and it will not make you permanently happy. Permanently happy, that's what you become when you engage your true self in the service of the Supreme Self. Rishikena sevanam bhakti ruchyate. That's the definition. Ahaitukya pratyata. When you do this constantly and without any motive, I pray to God because I want something, this and that. No, unselfish. Yayatma suprasidati. That gives the topmost satisfaction to you, to the soul. So it's very important to understand. And the proof of the pudding is in the tasting. If we're holding back, I'll do something for Krishna, but I must do for me. Then you don't get the full effect. Spiritual master prescribes, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Whatever you do it for Krishna. It's like watering the root. You are one of the small leaves on the tree. You keep on watering me. That's not very satisfying. But you pour your water on the root. Not only you get happy and satisfied, but all tree, everybody. A devotee is a friend of everybody, a well-wisher of everybody. He doesn't see the body, he sees the soul. Now, having a body is a responsibility, particularly if you have a human body. There are millions and millions of different bodies that Krishna allows us to test drive, flying and swimming underwater and doing so many things. But coming to human body, that's very important. Because that's where we have our free will manifest. Animals, they don't really have free will. Even if they are like moving. Plants, they can't do anything. You're standing there in rain and storm. Animals may have free choice. They may say, should I eat this rat or eat that rat or climb up that tree? So animals can make choices out of their instincts, like we make choices. But they don't have the ability of free will. Free will means we can visualize, we can imagine, oh, if I only get this, or if I only go there, if I only taste this, then I will be happy. So we concoct the whole picture in our mind. If I only get this beautiful woman, then that will fulfill my life, And then you have the process of thinking, feeling, and willing. You think about something, I want to have, I want to experience, or you think about something, oh, I want to avoid, I don't want this, I don't want to go there. So you imagine how painful it will be, or you imagine how enjoyable it will be, and then from that comes a desire. Oh, this guy, he's not very nice, I want to avoid him. So I decide, I go to another city. Or this person is really nice, or I think I can make money here. So then you desire and you go there. This is the free willing. But it's misuse of free willing. That free willing is given to us constitutionally by Krishna so that we can imagine wonderful things to do for Krishna, to please him. Surprise, playing games, chanting songs, cooking, like that. That's when you're on the level of spontaneous devotional service, the rag nug. Before, when you're Vaidya Bhakti, we are kind of conditioned, and you need to be guided by experienced devotees, by a spiritual master, guided by literature, and then when you become pure devotee, you have developed your ability to serve Krishna spontaneously. These elevated people may be there as your guides protecting you, but you have the ability to spontaneously create wonderful things to Krishna as your expressions of love and affection, Like somebody brought a bouquet of flower here today. I'm pretty sure that nobody told this devotee that you should go and buy flowers, but from hearing it and maybe doing it many other times, feel that this is my way of showing love and respect to the Supreme Personality of God. I buy flowers, So love is actually, somebody was asking Prabhupada, basically, what's the meaning of life? He said, why does anything exist? And Prabhupada said, for pleasure. Everybody's seeking the pleasure. Anandamaya Vyasat. I just told you, everybody is joyful, jubilant in the nature. And we're all the time looking for this joy, which is not there unless we connect, unless we have yoga with Krishna. Then you can start feeling that, like plugging in the lamp in the outlet, there's a flow of electricity. So you connect with Krishna, and there's Nitya Ananda coming through that connection. So that's the meaning of life, and pleasure. And where does this pleasure come from? It comes from love. When you love somebody, you feel very pleased and happy, So that means you, and that means being an object of your love. So in our case, Krishna has constituted us to be his lovers on different platforms. So it's called rasa. So if you establish a connection with Krishna in whatever way, as a servant, as a friend, as a parent, or as a romantic lover, there's a specific flavor in that relationship. That's why impersonalists, they can never be happy. Mayavadis can never be happy, because there's no relationship. Either Krishna is impersonal, and you can't have a relationship with something impersonal, or he is void, like the, Shunyavadis. He doesn't even exist. So there's only the personalist that can experience the mellow of rasa, the mellow of joy, by contacting Krishna, by establishing relationship. And Krishna is so merciful. He will give himself to you as a devotee the way you want him. Not everybody wants Krishna. I don't know if it's because they have something against blue, but some people want him green, and then they establish a relationship with Lord Ram. It's also very sweet, because the rasa with Lord Ram is a little bit different than from Krishna. Krishna is very mellow, is very sweet and intimate. Lord Ram is a little bit more distant, because he's a king. You can establish a relationship with Krishna in Dwarka. He's also king. But the Braj mood in Vrindavan, that's Krishna is very sweet, and something else. So the pleasure you're looking for comes from the love and affection shared with Krishna. Not necessarily with God. There could be affection, respect, and some kind of love if you worship Narayan, Vishnu, but that's more the almighty, all-powerful, all-knowing personality of Godhead, and there's this barrier. But when it comes down to Krishna, more and more of this barrier goes away, but one has to be really pure to experience that. Barriers are good when we are addressing people with politeness according to etiquette, not to transgress. And then Prabhupada says something else also, like somebody asked him, why is there so much suffering in this world? There are philosophies which are totally geared to minimizing suffering. They want people to have a good time in the world without suffering for themselves or causing suffering to others. Like Buddhism is very prominent, that suffering is very important, one should avoid at all cost. But again, we say this is like asking for the kingdom of Ram, where there's so much, nice things going on, but without Ram, you can't have that joy and pleasure if there is no Ram. So it's a kind of paradox. Relationship, love, pleasure, and then you don't want to have anything else. Huh? Now, our situation today, we are having material bodies which are changing, from childhood to youth, old age, and then we die, or the body die. It's not natural, because as souls we don't never die. So we come to this world, a world where we believe that everything has a beginning and an end, everything is temporary, including the body. Because we are covered by illusion, there's a lot of pain, because we establish relationships with people through their bodies, through their material senses, through the mind. And then at the moment of death, either my death or the person's death, the relationship is over, finished, bus, no more. It becomes very painful. We miss people and we're never going to meet them again, etc. It's like that with everything. You know, you get some wealth for a limited period. You get a beautiful car for a limited period. So we live in a world which is just a dance with the temporary objects of our senses, you know. Every object has a temporary name and a form. And then the energy has been transformed into something else. It's Krishna's energy. So it's not false, it's just temporary. It doesn't come from nothing, and it doesn't turn into nothing. It's simply transformed. This body, I mean, I went to a cremation a couple of months ago. An older Indian lady left her body. And body is about 80% liquid, and the rest is solid blood and mucus and whatever. It's like the different elements. Bhumi, solid state. Apo, the liquid state. Anala, fire or plasma. Vayu, gas. And Kam, ether. So it's a combination of the 5 states of gross material matter. And they transform because by the transformation of fire, like you put the body into the oven, it's like between 700 and 1000 degrees. And in about 80 minutes, the body and the coffin, everything is transformed into ashes. A little bag of dust which you can fit into a container. Then you fly it to India and spread it in the Ganga, whatever you do with it. 80 minutes plus fire. And then it's all transformed. All the water is vaporized up in the air somewhere. It's boiled. And all the bones and the ligaments and the meat, it's all transformed basically to carbon, to solid state. That's what's left of the body.
What about the gold in their mouths?
Yeah, probably melts.
Okay.
So if you want to get technical here, what you do when the ashes are cold, they go through, rake it like with a comb, and because people sometimes have screws in after surgery, so before they have the pure ashes, they take away the screws and the gold or whatever is there on the body, yeah, put it aside, and then it's just the ashes left, or they do like a sift, you know, put it, and all the ashes come down, and left is, you know, whatever is there from the body. So this is a whole lifetime. You've been there for 70, 80, 90 years. And the sum total of this, you can fit in a little jar. That's what you accomplished with this body. While you're having this body, as an aspiring devotee, as a Vaishnava, you have the unique opportunity to use the body and use your intelligence and free will to visualize and do devotional service. Even if somebody instructs you how to cook, you may be a neophyte, you listen first, Shravanam, and then you try to perform and do it nicely. You think about Krishna, you're focused to cook just right because you want this to be so nice. So when you put it on the altar, you feel, wow, Krishna's happy, and then all these devotees are happy, taking the remnants. So this you can do as a human being. You use your intelligence, your discrimination, and your free will to go towards Krishna. You can make a conscious choice. Krishna Surya Sam, Maya Hai Andhakar. Krishna is like the sun, Maya is like the darkness. And I choose not to go to the dark side. I choose to go to the bright side. And in the bright side, I can indulge in willing, thinking, feeling, willing, devotional service. What should we do Harinam today? Yes, I called my friends, you know. And Krishna is very happy. Tesam satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurakam dadami buddhi yogantam yenama upayantit. Krishna says that he gives you buddhi yogam, the intelligence by which you can come to him. Yeah? So you get knowledge from the books, you get knowledge from the sadhus, from the advanced devotees, you get knowledge from the spiritual master, and then you also get knowledge from Krishna, Chaitya Guru. I said, oh, but maybe it's the mind. Okay, your mind is telling you, go in Harinam. That's fine with me. Even if it's the mind, it's cool. Maybe it's your purified mind, because that's exactly what happens. You may not make it back to Krishna in this lifetime. It's kind of rare. So you will continue. Maybe you take your birth in a wealthy family or aristocratic family or a family of Brahmins, or a family of devotees. So you continue. But as you traverse the universe in different ever-progressing devotional bodies, so to speak, your subtle body, which you carry as a backpack, Krishna says that, the soul carries his life conception as the wind carries aroma. So whatever you are, your conditioned personality or your partially purified personality, it comes with the soul into the next life, like that. But ultimately, as a pure devotee, your subtle body is basically dying. Your materially conditioned subtle body, the mind which you used to use to, I like this, I like that, I don't want that, I don't like, I want, but then I want this for Krishna, I won't do that, I would, no, this is not for Krishna. And intelligence, same. You have a purified subtle body. So that happens not at the end of the life. At the end of this life, the gross body dies, but at the end of your journey in this universe, your subtle body dies. You only have the pure mind, pure intelligence, the soul, and the real ego, your svarupa. Understand? So this is what we can look forward to. Encouraging, isn't it?
I have some question. I can do it after? Or?
Yeah, well, you can do it now too.
Okay. Yeah, what came to me, it is like in this body we can connect with Krishna or the God. And where we let the body, we can progress to, or just we stay in the same conscious, we let the body, and we come back to the same conscious?
Well, we know a lot what's happening between birth and death. Yeah. That we can do. We know how important it is to take care of your health. Also, as a devotee, Prabhupada said, and health comes first. Because if you don't take care of your body properly, not overdoing it, but you should, and not neglecting it, you should eat properly, sleep properly, relax and work balance in life, because then you can engage in devotional service. All the yoga processes like meditation, the asanas, everything is simply meant to make your body fit for higher yogas, so the body and the mind doesn't become a disturbance. People do yoga so they look nicer and they can attract the opposite sex, and that's a side effect which is actually undesired. It's an anartha. But you can take care of your body. Some Vaishnavas, they do asanas and pranayams to be more, and then they sit and chant japa, and the body feels good, you're not disturbed, because if it's a lot of pain in the body, the mind is disturbed, it's harder to do devotional service, even on the mental platform. So this we know, how to take care of the body, and we do have to do that because we have it. If we are spirit souls in our svarupa, we don't have, I haven't read it somewhere in the Shastra, but I'm pretty sure you don't have to go to the toilet in the spiritual world. I would be very surprised, because this is a machine. You fuel it and it has to, like this. But what happens between death and birth, we may not know so much about. We know you leave the body's away. It's a kind of an overwhelming experience, because you get used to the body. Most people think that the body is me, and then all of a sudden you lose me and you can't figure it out. And I've been listening to some video clips on YouTube where people left their bodies and they were completely bewildered. All of a sudden, I just saw my own body and I was up here and, like this. So it's a kind of overwhelming thing. And then it's described in certain parts of the Veda how you go places with the speed of the mind. You're not limited to a material body, because that's, if you have to go fast, you have to jump in a car or an airplane. But in your subtle body, you can travel from one place to the other like this. And there you get prepared for your next body. You get training. Yeah.
What I hear, what I understood, it is like where we let the body, we go not space and time. Like this, yes, we can travel. No, we cannot. We have some limitation. Depend from the conscious we are already. We cannot go everywhere. It is
the thing is, you don't decide really where you go. No. Because as long as you're conditioned by the material nature, there's already like a curriculum set up, He's going to become a pig, okay? So we have to take him and teach him how to eat stool a little bit, so he's prepared, and then he takes his birth in the pig family. But similarly, if you take your birth in the Vaishnava family, you travel, and then at one point you're ready to take your birth, and it's actually said that you select your parents, you know. You find some parents which are suitable. You know, that's why when you want to make babies, in our tradition, you chant 50 rounds to elevate your consciousness so you can attract a really nice soul, because they will see, oh, these are devotees and they have really good consciousness now. Yeah, I want to be in that belly. So, like this. Yeah? So that's very important. You do the samskaras starting even before the pregnancy and the birth of the child. The parents do the samskaras to attract a great soul in the family. So whatever you accomplish is brought with you to the next life. Prabhupada says this in 240, that you may be making 1% advancement, and then your next life you continue from 2%. So nothing is lost.
And we can do it just here. We cannot do it after we let the body.
This is a difficult question.
Okay.
Because I don't think you really, from what I understand, you don't really have that much free will. Yeah. You're basically being manipulated by your destiny, by, you know, your guardian angels, or whatever it is, preparing you for your next birth. Yeah. But then your next birth, I don't know how long time elapses, but you take your birth and you start again, you know, with your samskaras, with your inclinations, your preferences and your distastes from your past life are again manifest, and then you can use your free will and freedom of choice, and maybe you have really good parents that have good influence on you and will bring you to a better place. So
the parents we choose already before, we are like the family, and we choose what parents, and the parents they know already before what child or souls they come to heaven.
Well, that's a very technical question, and I don't want to speculate on that. In one sense, it may be interesting, like some devotees, they say, I want to go and have hypnosis, so I find out what I was in my previous or 3-4 previous lives. Yeah, I mean, if you're curious, maybe there's no harm, but in one sense, what's the use? You did what you did, and then, you know, now you're here. And if you were able to remember all your past lives, you would go crazy. Every incident is called episodic memory. Whatever transpired in your past lives. What you do have with you is the sum bonum, the kind of personality you became from acting and suffering or enjoying the reactions to your choices and your free will that made you into who you are today. You know, so the important thing is what you do now, concretely, like this. And it's not so important actually to know how actually you got trained to enter into this particular body, but it's there. There's some superfluous information about that in the Vedas.
I'm asking, for example, depend the conscious, the parents they have the moment that become the spirit, and if they are not in the nice environment or mental health. They are different souls they come, or already it was choose before what soul come to be?
Yeah, your karma, product of your karma, and product of your free will, and product of your, it's called nature, nurture, and free will. Nature is what you bring into this life. This is, you know, you may be born with one leg because that you have some bad karma. Not much you can do about it. But then you have nurture. That's how your family nourishes you in the beginning, and then what kind of friends you choose or family to come, they also influence you. But then you have your free will, that you, even if you're an alcoholic, you have a little chance to say no to liquor, and vice versa. So these three things shape your personality in this lifetime, like that. It's an interesting topic, but what you have to understand, what Krishna says is yam yam vapi smaram bhavam chat chat ante kalevaram. Ante means the end of life. Whatever consciousness you have, when you leave your body, that is the sum total of you, and you have to bring that into your next life. Therefore, we need to look at our life as a preparation for death. And if you're a devotee and solidly situated at the moment of death, maybe all the senses and the mind will go all over the place. You may be afraid, or it can go very quick. It can also be a very long process. But if you're a trained devotee, you have better chance to have a solid consciousness. Like when Prabhupada left his body, it was very peaceful. You can immediately understand he just left and went back to Krishna and Vaikuntha. not this big drama, some rich person. Oh, I have 1 million crowns. Let me just enjoy another young girl for the last minutes, or whatever. Oh, I don't want to die. Oh, my wife, save me, bring me doctors. It's terrible, for a materialist who thinks that, Janas yamoho yama hammamit. You view everything as I, me, and mine. My relatives, my family, my property, and now I'm going to lose everything. Oh, my body, what's happening to me? So as a trained devotee, accomplished devotee, realized devotee, well versed in the Shastra, good meditation, solid consciousness, there's nothing whatsoever to fear of death. You're prepared, you're ready, even if it comes in 10 minutes, right? So this should be our aim. It should be our aim to practice Krishna consciousness as if we would leave this body tomorrow. That's even what the samurais used to do. The big warriors from Japan. By the way, Japan was, besides of India, the second most important country for cow protection. This devotee, Stephen Nappy, wrote a wonderful article about that. Anyway, this is not a story. So the samurai started every morning by contemplating his own death. He knew, as a warrior, I can go out there and get killed immediately and die. So I'm prepared for that. I'm mindful every moment, Where's Krishna? How can I serve Krishna? Like this. Like that. Huh?
Where we let the body and we can travel. And we can have some different places. Why we come back here? Just everyone like to be to the Krishna and to meet the Krishna if they are in some nice place there outside.
Who says you will come back here?
Yeah, why
there are innumerable planets in the material creation, innumerable universes. You may come back, you may even have same parents as past life, or meet your enemy in a different shape. Maybe you marry him in this life, But we don't know. Whatever happens is for our benefit. This place, the material world, is a redemption, it's the school of life. And you can, if you're a good student, you follow the curriculum, you do your homework, you're polite to the teacher, and you work according to the rules of conduct. That's the Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, You follow the religious principles. Every year, you go closer and closer to graduation day. If you're nice. If you're not nice, you just make a mess and bully others and create problems and disturb. These are the materialists. Those are grossly foolish. They don't follow any religious principles. Or you can become the honorary student. Honorary students is given special scholarship and special tuition and goes very quickly through the grades. That's the bhakti yogi. The fast track on the airport, I told you. Huh? Because there's no difference between the path and the goal. The big yogin meditator. So we had a class in the farm a few days ago. Somebody says, well, I don't think when I come to Krishna, I'm not going to sit here, that's boring. I want to do something. I want to do something for Krishna. This is not what it is. So the path is not the goal. Being a yogi, Siddha yoga, this yoga, that yoga, whatever. There's so many guys out there. People get such Sadhguru and Osho and whatever they're called, speaking a lot of nonsense and a little bit nice things. Then, for some time you take advantage of that, but then you let it go. Now we have the real thing. We have Prabhupada, we have the books, we have the association. There are two things most important in the lives of a Vaishnava. Anyone knows which are those two things? That's,
Association.
Vaishnava association, that's one, very important. And the other one is the mercy of Krishna. And the mercy of Krishna is manifesting in different ways. Even if somebody walks up to you and says something, you may look at it on the surface, but maybe Krishna wants to tell me something. Why is this happening to me? He's orchestrating. If you're not interested in Krishna, he delegates to his external energy the mechanics of this universe. Good karma, bad karma, this, that body, that suffering. You go along with the machinery from life after life. But you turn a little bit attention to Krishna and say, wow, she wants to become my friend. That's what Krishna says right here. Sarva guyatamam bhuya shrinumi paramam vacha. Because you are my very dear friend, Krishna says, I'm speaking to you, my supreme instruction, the most important knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit, Krishna says. most important, just surrender unto me. Okay, you can become Brahman realized. That feels good. Yeah, you know. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahman. Everything is Brahman. I'm Brahman. Tattvamasi. You are also that. That feels good. Yeah, liberation. Not much suffering, but okay, what's going to happen now? And that super soul. Yeah, there's a voice in my heart. I can actually listen to it, take direction. It's like, you know, you do the navigator in the car. In 300 meters, turn left. 400 meters, go roundabout, second exit. Voice in your heart. But Krishna gives knowledge about himself, Sri Bhagavan. That's where the relationship, the personal exchange is going on. That's the most confidential. Well, if you want to have a comfortable situation in this world, you can take instruction from Krishna, because dharman tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Dharma, religious duties, comes from Krishna. So at least you listen to him. You don't listen to some bogus guru from Tamil Nadu with big beard and a turban saying blah, 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 blah. You listen to Krishna. You get the real thing. Okay, you get comfortable situation in this world. And then you can move from there. But that's not the topmost level. He also gives the Nitya Dharma, the eternal sweet connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in service, in mutual exchange of loving activities. That's where it ends up. And that's why the human being is so important, because we have the free will. The free will which unfortunately brought us here in the first place, because we may visualize, I want to enjoy, separate from Krishna. Why this Krishna? And I go there and say, okay, you have free will. Without free will, there can't be love. I'm saying it again and again. I pay you 10,000 crowns and you become my loving friend. Yes, okay, well, let's go and have a coffee, Or I put a gun to your head, love me. Yes, I will, No, the spontaneous, you decide as a human being with free will, you visualize, yes, I just want Krishna. I want to be with him. I want to play games. I want to joke with him, take prasadam with him. Just like Arjuna. He was Krishna's friend. They did these things. But then because Arjuna's very much disturbed condition, temporarily Krishna became his authority and teacher. But then again, it changed back to friendship, because that's higher. So this is the power of free will. Use it wisely. That's what Krishna says here. I told you the most confidential knowledge, and deliberate on it. Use your intelligence fully, and then do what you wish to do. If you've been told, yeah, you can try and enjoy your senses in this life, it's only going to be another birth, death, disease, old age. And or you engage in devotional service, become a devotee, you will never ever have to take your birth in this world again. You can just enjoy with me, Krishna says all the time. I think I'm pretty punctual. It's like 4:30. So this is such an important text, because real religion is not something you do out of fear, really, or because somebody tell you. Some people say that if you join an ashram or you join a religious organization, you switch off your brains, and you say, oh, Guru Maharaj, should I have a blue sock or a red sock? And some people is all the time try to pound it, you have to follow authority. Well, that doesn't mean you decide which color of the socks you have. Prabhupada says, I want to have independently thoughtful devotees. That's what he said, independently thoughtful. You become independent by training, get good training, and thoughtful by getting this knowledge. Because that's how. Krishna is not interested in robots. He's interested in people who want to express love and affection. Even if you do something wrong. We have some volunteers out on our farm, and one sweet girl from Italy, I went to Copenhagen, I gave a lecture, and they gave me a garland, and then I gave it to the volunteers, so they thought it was fun, so they wore it for a while, and the next volunteer wore it the next one, and then this little girl, little, she's like, 28, but she's small, so from Italy. So she took the garland, and then in our temple room, she just went and gave the garland to Prabhupada. And then I think, oh my God, and offer the garland, you can't, this is Prabhupada, you can't get, and my heart melted. Oh my God, it's so sweet. So I told her, this was very nice of you. Thank you. Because of appreciation for Prabhupada, she understood. She gave him an offered garland. In the beginning, Prabhupada received hippies, smelling, stinky, intoxicated, let them sleep in the temple room. They came with a new pair of jeans and offered it to Jagannath, Subhadra Balaram on the altar. Here's my jeans. Some guy, I don't know, was in Stockholm, whatever, he was drunk and he came, no, it was in the 26th African Avenue. He came in with a bunch of toilet rolls he probably stole from some place. And they came and this is for you. And then they went. Prabhupada was so happy. Thank you very much. These are the first steps. So this is the mentality we have to develop. Otherwise, it becomes like one devotee I know. He wears a T-shirt saying, "Jesus, save me from your followers." You understand? Jesus, save me from your followers. Some people come to the temple and the first thing you heard is, "Oh, this, no. Prabhupada gradually introduced all the rules and all these things, but he could see the bright thing in the heart of a person and fan it, and encourage it, and lift them up. And they became devotees. So, deliberate with whatever little brain we have, fully, and then do what you wish to do. Yeah? All right. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So what should we do now? Garati? Okay. Thank you.
But can you do the puja?
I do whatever you want. I'm your servant.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Very good.
Okay. So I think this should go away now. So please.
Maybe out.
Yeah. Put it outside. And then after that will be prashadam, right? Yeah, that's why I came.
Yeah, it's enough to go.
Thank you, sir.
One is enough?
Hmm?
One is enough.
Yeah, I'll get too smoky. It's fine.
Ki bajayo ho jayo gora chander Araji ko shobha. Bahu Koti Chandra Jini Vadana Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Jaya
Stotar Satoshi Shimaris Divine Grace, Srila Boy, Charnaravinda Bhaktivedanta, Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Nityalila Pravishtam, Vishnupad, Paramahansa, Parvadikacharya, Stotar Satoshi Shimaris Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. ISKCON BVT Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Premstika Hoshi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamkund Radhakund Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Mathura Dham Ki Jai. Dwarka Dham Ki Jai. Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Swami Ki Jai. Ganga Maya Munamai Ki Jai. Tulasi Maharani Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Gaura Premanande. All glories to the Samadhuris. All glories to the Samadhuris. All glories to the Samadhuris. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. You chant the Nrsimha prayers also?
Yes.
Shall I ask how for?
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Shilata Premanande. Srila Prabhupada ki. Jai.
We have 15 minutes,
15.
yeah, before we can offer Boga.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I have to tell my volunteers, because I told them they should be ready by
Are they
5.
coming for?
I think they're coming for the prashad. 3 girls.
Okay. And Dimitri, have you ever met him?
Okay,
Yeah.
we could have questions and answers or something if you want.
To hear about the farm,
Oh my God.
because we haven't seen you for so long, and
I know.
how is it going now in the darkness and rainy days?
It's going on.
Yeah.
Farm life is part Varnashram Dharma. It's Krishi Gorakshavanyam, Krishna says in the Gita. Krishi means agriculture. That's Balaram, he has the plow. And Goraksha is taking care of the cows. That's Krishna. He has the flute. So there are cows, there are horses, there's an old aging dog, and there are 2
Still
rooms.
the dog
She's
is
still alive, believe it or not. Yes.
how old now? 15, 16
Yeah,
years?
something like that, 16, 15.
And the horses are still the 4 or 5?
Yeah, there are 4 horses,
Okay.
and then there are 3 cows and 2 bulls, 2 oxen, and 2 roosters that we kind of saved. The roosters, tut.
Are they living outside somewhere?
Well, they're free roaming. They're good friends because there are no chickens around here,
Ah, okay.
but just 2 boys, so they're getting along quite well. Living in the big barns, like
With the
that.
horses?
Hare
Jai Hare Krishna.
The microphone died, so you can speak.
From here.
Yeah, the sound is going. Okay.
Yeah, Hare Krishna everyone. Now it is the end of the program and we will have the prasadam now. But I would like to request our organization is fully depend upon the public funding. So if you will donate anything like 10 kron, 20 kron, also we will be grateful to you. Hare Krishna.